That's the mycorrhiza. Anything for anyone else? Has anyone here got experience on working in forests, or is there a forester in the audience? I bet you there is. There always is. No.
I'd be amateur.
Yeah, I know. You know your mycorrhiza, yeah.
No, well, funny enough, I just use that, say, for example, leaf litter for your garden. Now,
Yeah.
do you think that would really benefit vegetable beds?
Yeah. In fact, I just was reading there recently in Puerto Rico years ago. They had a major afforestation program, and they planted seeds, and nothing grew in the forest. So they took the soil from some part of the states from which the trees originally grew and shoved them in, and the trees, because they had the proper fungi and bacteria, where in Puerto Rico didn't have that. So they imported and they grew. So that was important. So that's the ecological cycle. Fungi. Now, let's see here. I don't want to get wet. So I said we'd do identification as well. How are you on general tree identification? I'd be jumping around here mixing all types of different stuff, so if any questions. How are you on tree identification?
Love to know more. Love to be able to identify a few more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the tips in identification of trees are, and I'm not trying to make this absolutely simple, but once you get an activist, it's very simple. You start off by saying, are they deciduous, are they conifer, are they broadleaf, or are they evergreen? Now, a broadleaf is synonymous with being a broadleaf. What's another name for a broadleaf tree? Deciduous tree, generally. There's one or two exceptions. Okay. Broadleaf is deciduous. It's, what's the other term for it? The wood. It's called a hardwood. So you have hardwoods. If you go into Bruce Thomas and you buy hardwoods, you'll always get broadleaves. Now, there are some conifers that the wood is hard, but it's not a hardwood, it's a softwood. Any coniferous, any timber that's derived from a conifer is called a softwood. Now just think of that. And it's also called a conifer, and it's also called evergreen. So when you think of those terminologies, there's three. You have deciduous, it loses its autumn colour, beautiful New Hampshire loses colours. It's also broadleaf, the leaves are generally broad, whereas conifers are needles. Okay? And then the timber from the tree is called a hardwood. Now put that on one side. A horse chestnut is a compound leaf. It has lots of leaflets. So you look at the leaf and you say, is it a simple leaf? That no, this is lime. And then you look, have you enough? We're looking for a bit of shelter here anyway, right? Then you look at the side of the leaf here, you see, is it dentate, is it toothed, is it serrated? Is it like an oak leaf? There's all ways of describing the leaf. So you look at the shape and form of the leaf. You look at the bark. Is the bark is it smooth like beech? You look at the base. Does it have shoots like lime? You'll always identify a lime tree from the way they sucker. And then the other way you do it is you look at the arrangement of the leaves. You look if the leaves are opposite or alternate. Now you find on some branches of some of these trees you have leaves that come out opposite each other. Then you have ones that are alternate. You have one leaf there and one there. So these are clues. And then all that helps you to put it into a category. Then you look at the buds. Are they sticky? Are they lanceolate? Are they like beech? Are they, if you gave a prod, are they very prickly? Are they black like in ash? Are they sticky like horse chestnut? Before its buds burst, you have a very sticky sort of gum on it. That's chestnut. So these are clues, and then you look at the bark. You look at the form. Conifer trees are normally just straight. You get other trees, and we keep this in mind from a distance. You see the form. So you remember that conifer.
Yeah.
Give us a conifer. Yeah. Give us another conifer.
Evergreen.
Evergreen.
Softwood.
Give us an example of a conifer tree.
Simply a pine.
Pine tree or a spruce.
A spruce.
And what they normally have, I had one there earlier. Conifers they're called conifers because they have cones.
Okay.
If you take that back home, put it on the radiator, it'll open up and you'll shake out. You'll find loads of seeds, loads of them.
Rings.
Huggis.
Yeah. What?
Huggis.
Huggis. Good. Yeah. How does that?
I don't know.
Well, okay, that's good. Hugging means if it's a large girth, it's old, right? So hugging a tree. Foresters normally, we have methods. What we do is we want to tell the height of a tree. you can say, you can do here and say that's 6 feet, okay? My thumb is 6 feet at the base here, and then you do 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. That's a rule of thumb. Then we have very sophisticated instruments called hypsometers. You see guys do an ordnance survey, you press a button and it's all this, you can do a very sophisticated electronic method of height and girth. And I want to show you a method. This instrument that I have is a Presnor bore, and it's been on the go for about 80 years, and it's a fantastic method of telling you all about conifer trees. So I'll demonstrate. I think there's a Scots pine over there, which we'll see. But then before we go, you okay in that, I want to get this clear, you're absolutely clear about defoliation. And I know some guys who are, eminent tree arborists and consultants, and they might go out and charge a company over €1,000 to do a report on the tree to see if it's rotten or not. And the best lesson I learned from a professor years ago was to get an axe, just get an axe, and go out to a tree and give it a belt. And if you hear a hollow sound, you know that tree is absolutely rotten. Now I know somebody who went out and did that years ago when St. Vincent's Hospital was being built in Dublin. And the guy, he was one of my lecturers, and he went out, he said, come on now, anyway, he took the yoke, he belted it down, and he wrote a report for which he got £500. That's years ago, when I was a student. Got 500 quid. Let's have a run. What deciduous trees do you know that grow in Ireland? Any? Yeah, oak is the native Irish tree. Yeah, oak. Keep going. I want to get beech is not native. Willow is native. Yeah. Oak, ash. Huh? Sorry. Hazel. Yeah. Alder. True. Yeah. Alder and alder are true. Right? Yeah. Rowan is mountain ash. Yeah. Same. Good man. Come on. Hawthorn. Yeah. Elm. You know the problem with elm, Dutch elm disease. Hammer delivery. Daylights out of elms. I work with Dutch elm disease, and the problem with elm disease is that it's transmitted by a little beetle. The beetle is hairy. If you look at them under a microscope, the beetle is full of hairs. The spore or the seed of the fungus is very sticky. It's mucilaginous, and the elm pathogen, the elm spore that causes the disease, sticks to the bloody insect's back, and the beetle flies around, eats the twigs, which it does normally. But now that it has a pathogen, an agent which causes disease on its back, it exposes the tree to, it allows the spore of the fungus in. And then that's what happened with Dutch elm disease. The fungus gets into the plumbing system, the vascular system of the tree, and it blocks up the entire thing. It's as if you have a plumbing system at home blocked, and the tree just wilts overnight and dies. So that's an example of an Irish tree, an elm, that was devastated by the introduction of a disease that occurred in, say, Asia or another country. And again, when I was working with the Forest Service, we had to check any timber that comes into Ireland. You have to check it to make sure that it doesn't have bark or insects. So we had very strict controls since that about allowing the import of timber with bark attached, because the elm bark beetle was underneath the bark. So we made an order that no elm was allowed. Elm was brought here to make coffins. It's mostly when you're dead and gone, you'll end up in an elm box. Mostly coffins are made out of elm, or they were. And we had to check timber imports coming into Ireland to make sure that the elm that came in rough form was devoid of bark, and that meant there was no insects on it. But it was a bit too late. And then unfortunately, after we got we bred elms for resistance, didn't the fungus mutate, and you got an aggressive strain of Dutch elm disease. So all the breeding work that was done for the control of Dutch elm disease went overnight, so we said it's gone. So that's an example of an epidemic where the whole bloody thing takes off and we do nothing. We have a conifer here. Now see the bark. And you know immediately it's a conifer, it's a completely different form. Broadleaf trees are normally, they spread out like so, they have a form. Conifers are straight, conical shape. The bark is different. Now, any idea what age this tree is? Anyone? Go on, I'm going to take a... You said 6. What's that? Yeah, but I want you... What age do you say the tree is? Give us a...
40.
There'll be another prize now. I've got loads of books.
100.
100.
Over 100.
Now, you can't change your mind. What is it?
125.
You were a witness to that. 125. What do you say to this?
40.
74.
Well, don't. I'll take it as near as 5. 75. Okay.
I'd say 33.
Now, when someone came, I can't remember all these figures.
Yeah.
When someone
30, yeah.
40.
80.
80. Oh, hold on for a second. This is called an increment borer, right? You want to have a go at that? Come on.
Come here, Dermot, that tree had been pruned, or just sort of self-pruned?
That's out pruned, yeah. Good man, well done. Where's the other part of it? Yeah, hold on to that. Yeah. This just bores into the tree, right? And you'd be amazed what we can find out from this bit of detective work.
That doesn't do any harm.
What did you say it was?
125.
75. And who else said what?
Say 30.
You wouldn't make it for it. Yeah. So what it does, it just takes a slice from inside the tree, right?
Wow.
Now, I'm going to give that to an independent, honest-looking person. Yourself.
Myself.
You have to count the rings. Count the rings from.
Every ring is a year?
Yeah, count the rings. Now, notice the way. Again, can you see that at the moment? The ring tells you. It's nearly like getting a blood sample. The ring tells you that the tree was growing particularly well in those years, and then in the last few years, the rings are very close together. So there's a lot of competition, and the tree is not growing very well. It's going into senile decay, or there's competition from other trees, right? So, can I ask you to tell me quietly, at the end of the day, how many rings are on there? And then we give the prize to...
Okay.
So you go right into the centre of the tree until you find the rings going the other way. And then you know that you're in the centre.
Yeah.
Can you do that? So that's a Presler. There's a guy in Sweden who invented this. Very simple. So I can take that out there.
Is the tree going to feel worse after this?
No, what happens, a lot of people say, oh, it's like getting a blood sample.
Okay.
What happens here is that fills with resin. And okay, if you're making, say, a plate from that time, there'll be a mark on it, but it doesn't cause the tree any. If we're working with tree disease, we normally sterilise. We'd flame this in alcohol each time. Sorry, that just broke off there. So if you can put that together, right? You might have a go. Sorry, hold up, please. So that's those trees here. See the beautiful orangey bark? Yeah. That's highly characteristic of Scots pine. That's a Scots pine, right? So you know how to identify a lime tree? You saw a lime tree? What's that tree behind us there? This one here. Does anyone know? Yeah, okay, just take. Will you take a twig off that and you have a look at it, please?
Ash.
No, who said?
I said ash.
No, stand in the corner.
Okay. With my nose in the corner, is it?
I'm only joking, you know. Somebody said hazel.
Is it hazel?
Yes, yeah. Now, do you remember I said you were asking me about identification? The leaves. That's a broadleaf, okay. It's a hardwood, and it's also, what's the other term? Hardwood.
And deciduous.
Deciduous, yeah. It's not quite deciduous yet, it's about to fall. But the leaves here are alternate. See the way there's a leaf here?
Yeah.
Now, they'd be opposite if they were like that. They're alternate. You have one leaf there, one there, one there. See the way they're alternate? The buds are tiny and green at the top. Just have a look at the buds. And then when I show you some ash trees, you find that the bud in the ash is black. So these are the tricks. Also, the leaf here is fairly hairy. See the veins on it as well. The veins are characteristic of hazel. So, the nuts, yeah, then you have the hazelnuts. Did you have a result for that?
I did.
What was it?
42.
42.
Yeah.
Yeah, 42. Okay. Who said 42? Did you count right in the centre?
Yeah. The one.